I am so thankful that Hanebado didn't go the cliche route with Ayano and her mother. Because normally, in an anime, or a manga, or even a book, TV show, movie, usually if there's some problems going on with the child and the parent, typically it's fixed rather quickly, or the child in question will try to talk with the parent pretty quickly, or it'll be settled in a short amount of time. I've seen this happen a lot in manga and anime, and I'm just very pleased with this episode that Ayano just straight up ignored her mother, just literally left the room, walked away, didn't eat food with her, have an entire scene towards the end of the episode when they're just brushing teeth side by side, and then she just walks away without really any words said to her. But then the mother's like, I talked to Connie and all that, how about you come with me and all that, we can leave together. And then, obviously, the episode ends. But even then, though, I'm very happy with the writer, but also Ayano as a character, that she just didn't forgive her mother that quickly, because that's not how reality works. Because Ayano as a character has been shown to hold grudges. She has given up on her mother, and she doesn't want to forgive her now. She's just done. And so if she was to just go out of her way and start being nice to her mother, or just having a casual conversation like she had in the other episode with Connie, it wouldn't make much sense. So, like I said, proud of this episode. But let's get into the mother for a second. So, out of everything that happened within this episode, with, the boys group, for instance, Hayama, Yu, and then seeing the stuff going on with Aragaki, there was a certain scene, or the character, Ayano's mother, that was pretty important to this episode, because it's one of the main plot points of Hanebado as a series, because Ayano as a character is the main front and center, and her issues with her mother is kind of like the main objective to settle right now. It needs to be handled in some way. And we get a little bit more insight to the mother and kind of how she is towards Ayano in present time. So she just appears, obviously, out of nowhere. After such a long time of not really getting to see her mother just appears out of nowhere, which is automatically very awkward. Even if Ayano didn't have any aggression or anger towards her mother, it's a very awkward scene, because just like your mother, your parent, appearing out of nowhere after just such a long time with really no contact whatsoever, you'd probably be a little bit upset. But then on top of that, once she just leaves, her mother doesn't really answer her and all that, basically, she starts wondering if Ayano has gotten stronger. That's all she says. That's really the only thing she says to her child. She doesn't say, I love you, I missed you. She says, I wonder if she's gotten stronger. I wonder if she has. And I'm just like, are you serious right now? Like, that's the only thing you can say about your child? And I'm just looking like, can you not read the situation of how your child is acting towards you? Like, it's very clear that she doesn't want anything to do with you. She doesn't want to communicate with you. I mean, she doesn't even eat food. And then the first thing you say is like, I wonder if she's gotten stronger. You don't try to give her a hug, I love you, or anything. It's like she knows that her child hates her, but she doesn't care. She just only cares about her, passion for badminton. That's the only thing she actually cares about at all. So this scene, in particular, the character trait we got to see in this episode, makes me hate Ayano's mother even more than I already did, because that's despicable, just to do something like that. The first thing she really says is that, instead of like, I love you or anything. Come on now, you don't do that to your child you haven't seen. I mean, she keeps up to date with Connie, but doesn't keep up to date with Ayano. What the hell? But okay, so, let's talk about the main point of this episode before I get into the Aragaki and, the Ayano stuff. Let's get into the boys' scenes, for instance, Hayama, and what he has to overcome in this episode. So, we kind of got baited with this episode. Like, I figured that this was going to be an entire episode focusing on Ayano and her mother, but that was not the case. It was actually an episode focusing pretty much entirely on Hayama and how he has this rivalry with his childhood friend and how he's continuously struggled to remain relevant or on top to find his passion for badminton. Now, as we know from the previous episode, Hayama's friend was like, I'm probably going to quit badminton when I go into college. That's what he said. And in this episode, he says, I think I want to continue playing it, which shows that he does love badminton. He cannot just give it up like that. He wants to keep going with it. And Hayama also finds his passion. He's always had this passion. And you can see in some ways he does have a inferiority complex. He feels like he's slightly inferior to, his friend, but he doesn't let it get to him that much. He still struggles his way through to try to beat any player before him. I mean, he spends a lot of time and effort to try to improve himself through hard work, which goes along with the theme that happened at the beginning of the series with Aragaki, and how she was saying, like, just because she has long legs and she is in some ways gifted, she has put a lot of hard work into being where she's at. And that's kind of what Hayama was being shown as, that even though he was very skilled at a young age, he has to put in a lot of time and hard work just to stay relevant in the same level as his childhood friend that has far surpassed him a very long time ago. And I just like that. I really like how we get an insight to his character and what he's going through, but like I said, he doesn't let it get him down. He continues to press on forward, and he loves badminton. And we get a little bit more conclusion to Yu and Hayama's relationship, or what was going on there for these past couple episodes. We knew that Yu had these emotions building up towards Hayama. It was very obvious. And in the last episode, we saw how she discovered that Hayama was just, practicing by himself in the park. And she's like looking at him. She didn't get a chance to really talk to him. And then, in this episode, she finally gets to confront him and talk to him. And basically, it's clarified what's going to happen between these two characters. Hayama basically blocks himself from a romance with you by saying, I don't think you like me. I think you like badminton. And I'm like, my dude, you just cucked yourself. Like, come on, man. You missed out. But jokes aside, though, I figured there was going to be some romance going on there, but that did not happen, which I guess in a way makes sense. The main point of what the episode was wanting to show us was that Yu found her passion for badminton. Hayama, he's always had his passion, but it rekindled his passion, and he realizes that it's really fun, and he shouldn't give up that easily. He just needs to keep pressing forward. So I really liked that entire segment of this episode. I was very surprised to see the male group have such a big spotlight in Hanebado, because, I mean, normally in sports series, usually they're only one gender. There's usually not, like, two genders doing the same sport. Like, I mean, think about pretty much any sports series. Normally, if there's, let's say, a full group of guys as the main characters doing a sport, let's say a baseball show or, a basketball, usually it's full group of males, and maybe there might be a female character that's like a manager or a teacher. But there's really never, like, an actual, opposite gender that's also competing in the same sport alongside them. And that's what I really do like about Hanebado, is that we have gotten all the female characters and what they're doing with badminton, but also seeing Hayama and his squad going through, what they have to overcome for badminton also makes me appreciate this series and how it shows both genders both playing the sport, instead of just having one gender having all the spotlight. I appreciate that. Now, okay, let's talk about Aragaki. So Aragaki, as we know, she's trying to overcome her leg injury, or just her injury entirely, because if she continues pressing forward, she's not going to be able to play badminton. Her career is going to end. I've talked about this already. And once again, it's brought up in this episode that she needs to make a very difficult decision. Does she back out and not go up against Ayano, or does she, go up against her? And in a lot of ways, watching this episode, you might have assumed that Aragaki would want to go up against Ayano, because Ayano is just being mean, like just downright snarky and evil. And don't get me wrong, I like Ayano as a character, and I understand that her aggression is the extension of what's happened to her because of how she's a broken girl now. But even then, though, there's something about her attitude that she just needs to be put in place. And it's discovered at the end of the episode that Aragaki's not having a rematch with Ayano and backing out, not because she was, provoked into going up against her, but because she wants to face the her that was in the past. See, ever since the very beginning, the first episode, Aragaki, she was scared. She was scared of, like, her own self. She always thought it was Ayano that was the reason why she went into a slump, and she had a lot of issues taking her aggression out on her teammates. She always assumed it was because of Ayano. But in reality, she was kind of scared of her own self, and she's facing her old self to prove that she has changed and she's not like she once was. So it's not more along the lines of her going up against Ayano, it's more of her facing her old self, facing her demons to overcome them. So there's a lot more riding on this than just a win. Instead of just Aragaki wanting to go for a win and beat Ayano, it's more of her wanting to prove that she's not the same girl she was in the past. She wants to be a better and different person. Now, Ayano, obviously, she's just thinking about the win. That's all she cares about. So Aragaki's entire situation, I want to be honest with you, I do hope that she just stomps Ayano. I really hope that is done. And the reason why is because it'll serve as a big wake-up call for Ayano for a couple of reasons. Number one, if her mother is watching, she's going to like, oh, you didn't get strong at all, did you? And that's going to increase that entire plot point, make it a little bit more complicated. But then we're also going to have Ayano realizing that she can't beat someone that has a leg injury, and she might realize amongst her match that there's more to badminton than winning. Because remember, Aragaki, she's not trying to go in and just win. She's facing herself. She's trying to win against herself. And so there's more to winning, like playing a game, than just winning. There's more fundamental meaning. So I appreciate that little tiny aspect that this episode tried to do, and I feel like that's going to be the main reason if Ayano does lose to Aragaki, and what she's probably going to have to realize. Because right now, all she cares about winning. She doesn't really care about sportsmanship or anything. She's a pretty savage individual. So yeah, that's probably what I think Aragaki's entire characterization is being built up for. Now, let's see here. Anything else to really talk about? I guess that's pretty much about it. I think I actually covered everything that was kind of relevant within this episode. If I missed anything, you can let me know in the comments below. But I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe, stay healthy. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. And with that, Chibi out.